A very interesting turn of events is happening. In some of the worst representation in Congress, since the federal government failed to pass voting rights and equal voting protections on the federal level to kind of level the playing field and take all the corruption out of politics, ordinary citizens seem to be doing the job that the state government and the federal government should be doing, but the states are doing their job once again. That is the biggest critique I have over the last 5 years, Biden included. If you're going to have a federal government, you have to act like a federal government. Top down, not just, certain things, you have to put legislation with teeth in it, not just, throw the money to the states and let them do it your own way. No, you have to put certain things in order. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a rant on another subject. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is this. Madison Cawthrorn, North Carolina, he may be disbarred from running again, from the 14th Amendment being used against him for participating in the Stop the Steal rally that basically led to the Capitol riot. He is challenging that in federal court, but we all know how these kind of state powers cases tend to rule. Federal judges always tend to rule in favor of the states. So Madison Cawthrorn will probably have either be disqualified, or he is becoming so unpopular that probably an actual Republican will take his seat. Marjorie Taylor Greene has 7 different opponents, Republican and Democrat. But Georgia's a little wanky in the primary process, so her odds are, she's still above water though, but she is slowly sinking day by day. Let's see, who's next on the deplorable list? Matt Gaetz, Florida. Florida's first, Pensacola. His, let's just say, issues with the people trying to turn him in for alleged sex crimes violations and violation of the Mann Act. He is underwater in his election race. He is not even breaking 40%. Some say it's in the 40s, some say it's in the 30s. His campaign is bleeding money. He actually needs money. Him and Marjorie Taylor Greene's joint little America First, or whatever the hell they called it, was a complete financial failure. And also, it pissed off both Marjorie Taylor Greene and especially Matt Gaetz's district residents. So those two together did not help either of their causes. It pissed their voters off. And then another one, Louis Gohmert, is not running. He's running for AG of Texas. Oh, God. But now, last but not least, I'm calling her the Three Amigos, because we have Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boehbert, and Madison Cawthrorn, who are extreme gun nuts. And I wouldn't put it past them to put guns in the wrong people's hands. And the Three Amigos, if you love the Three Amigos, I'm sorry that I used that reference in a bad way. I used it because they're all very naive and also not that bright people. I mean, Madison Cawthrorn, why would you have to lie about your own accident to get elected? You're in a wheelchair. You already have the sympathy support. You don't need to add dramatic effect for it. So, but yeah, back to Lauren Boehbert. Her district She's got heavy Republican challengers. And also, okay, her district has actually been moved to a toss-up. It's, even though it is a little bit more redder, it's actually in a solid toss-up. It could go either way. It could go Democrat or Republican. So the failure of the feds to find any of these people in, like Lauren Boehbert, is guilty of FEC filings. Her famous little, she claims on her FEC filings, she traveled the distance of the entire planet Earth 3 times in her campaign travels. That's not mathematically possible. That's actually a very serious deduction violation. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gatez, I believe that their little their little joint tour was nothing more than a tax evasion scheme. I'm sorry. I am a tax professional. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, but let's not also forget the extra added benefit of filleting Trump's ego. So it is an interesting turn of events that, failure from the Fed, that for once, states' rights is headed in the right direction. Which, the majority of the time, sometimes it gets it right, sometimes it doesn't get it wrong. But in this time, with some of the most deplorable people, maybe, the power structure might not change that much, but at least maybe the characteristic of those power structure might just change a little. I'm Todd. Like this video, hit the subscribe button.